Hey friends, thank you for coming back to my channel. Today is a great day. Guess why? It's jerk pork day. Yes. I'm so excited to be making jerk pork for you guys. This is going to be an oven roasted jerk pork, but nonetheless, it's still going to be delicious. So for this, you're going to need browning, Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce, ketchup, jerk seasoning, garlic powder, complete seasoning, adobo, onion powder, and of course the green marinade that I have on my channel if you're interested in making it yourself. So I ended up buying about 10 pounds of pork butt, but I'm only going to use 2 pieces. I had them cut it into 10. I'm going to use 2 pieces. They're about 2 inches thick, and I cut the skin just so that the meat would not curl up. If you cook pork like this before, you know that it will curl up on you. So the best thing is to cut the meat. So to my clean pork, because of course I cleaned it with lemon juice, lime juice, water, and vinegar. I'm going to be adding some Worcestershire sauce. And from there, I'm going to be adding soy sauce. And then, of course, garlic powder. And then my favorite, complete seasoning. And then some adobo. If you don't have adobo, you can use all-purpose seasoning or you can use chicken bouillon. And of course, some onion powder. And of course, we're going to add our browning. But be careful with the browning. If you add too much, it will be bitter. So you want to be careful, but you want to add enough to add that color. And then of course, ketchup. But if you're one of my keto friends, of course you can use sugar-free ketchup here. So to this, we're going to be adding our jerk seasoning. Of course, Walkerswood is the best, but this is what I had. So this is what we're going to be using today. So after you put the jerk seasoning, you want to be sure to put the green sauce. Now I have the recipe on my channel. Be sure to check it out. And I was so sad because that's all I had left. Of course, I'll be making more. So once you have your pork all seasoned up, you want to make sure that you rub all of that deliciousness in. You want to combine all the ingredients and make sure that the pork is thoroughly covered. So you just see me rubbing in and massaging the pork, making sure that I get all the flavors in. I'm going to be flipping it, rubbing it together, rubbing it down, getting all the seasonings in, making sure that everything's distributed, making sure that there's no piece that is left uncovered by this seasoning. You don't want to waste any of this seasoning. You want to make sure you get it all, rub it in. So I just keep flipping and flipping and rubbing and flipping and massaging and getting that meat nice and coated. You can't have any blank spots on jerk pork. That is unacceptable. You want to make sure that your jerk pork is nice and seasoned, nice and marinated, nice and brown. Okay, so after everything is nice and coated, you want to go ahead and cover up your pan and let it sit overnight if possible. If not, an hour should do it, but I'm gonna sit mine in the refrigerator for about 24 hours. So I'm gonna put the plastic wrap, but on top of the plastic wrap, I'm gonna put aluminum foil because it's gonna sit in the refrigerator and I don't want it to smell up everything in my refrigerator. Okay, so once your pork has been marinating in the fridge for at least an hour, this is what it should look like. And I put mine in a baking dish, a glass baking dish. So I'm gonna cover it with aluminum foil, and I cover it because I like it to be nice and juicy. So once it's covered, I'm gonna put it in the oven for about 45 minutes on 400 degrees. And then once I pull it out the oven, it was a struggle because it was so hot. But when you pull it out, this is what it'll look like, and you'll see that there's some gravy that forms at the bottom, and that's what I want because I don't like to make a gravy separate. And also it will help the pork to not dry out. That's one of the ways to make sure that it stays moist. So from there, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in the broiler. I put it on the highest setting for about 10 minutes, and this is what it looks like when it comes out. So it's nice and brown. And I'm just trying to get you a close up. I'm trying to get you all up in there so you can see how delicious this looks. And then from there, I flipped it off camera because it was a struggle, because those are two big pieces of meat and they're hot. So even though I like a juicier jerk pork, I still like my outside to be a little drier. So I'm gonna remove the jerk pork from the gravy and I'm gonna put it on another baking sheet, coat it with aluminum foil, and I'm gonna put it under the oven to broil even more. And then when I pull it out, this is what it's gonna look like. Nice and brown and crispy, but still juicy on the inside. And I'm just trying to get you on top of it so you can see how delicious it is. Yes, it is so good. It tastes just as good as it looks. So from there, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and cut it up into chunks so it's easier to eat. And I always like to put a little of the gravy that was in the pan on top of it to ensure that it stays moist after it's cut up. But there you have it. I'm trying to hover over so that you guys can see. I almost fell in the jerk pork. But either way, this is how I served it, with a little bit of that gravy and some coconut rice. So thank you guys again for coming to join my channel. I hope that you will like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until the next video,